brings 20 years of experience into relationships and marriage, teaching mistakes often made in spousal choices, and a leading voice and advocate against domestic violence and abuse in Nigeria. A very sought-after public speaker and a father of four. Please, I need you to put your hands together as we welcome on stage Barrister Olumide Omosebi, the guest speaker of today's event. Barrister, you're welcome. My learned colleagues, sir, permit me to use that technology. Thank you, Barrister. You're welcome on stage.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for yourselves. You can put your hands together for yourselves. I almost felt like coming to dance on stage. I am so honored to have been invited by the administration of LORAL International Boarding Schools. I want to especially acknowledge the senior principal. Thank you for getting me here. And you students, please, there will be no school without students. You know that. If you are not here, there will be no school. So I want you to put your hands together once more for yourselves and celebrate the teachers. Celebrate the teachers that are dedicated to you. Now, before I start, we'll give you a little icebreaker. We call it the icebreaker. We'll give you a short clips. Please focus on the stage.
What's taking you so long? You should be out of here by now.
Daddy Precious.
Precious.
How far? There is nothing at home.
What's that?
I mean, there is no food at home. How are we going to do? Yes, no food at home. How are we going to do it?
I don't understand.
No money now. I want to prepare food.
You don't want to start again.
It's not that I'm starting. There is nothing at home.
Last one I gave you
2 weeks ago, I've been using my money. Daddy Precious, do something. You won't eat if you come from work today.
Woman, it's too early this morning.
It's not early.
Don't frustrate me this morning.
You are the one frustrating us in this house.
No, I didn't know how to pressure test.
I'm telling you. Yes. I said there is no food in this house.
You want me to beat you again this morning?
Beat. You will beat, oh. You will beat. Bring money so that you eat. I've been using my money. I'm tired. I'm not frustrating you.
I will beat you.
Beat here. Well, you beat me too.
Put your hands together. Now, let me ask you a question. Has anyone heard of the word domestic violence before? If you've heard, please put your hands in. Just put your hands up. Just please. Don't worry, it's not a trick question. You've heard about domestic violence and abuse. Now, I want to talk to you briefly on domestic violence and abuse. Usually, okay. No, because we'll be doing. Thank you. So, the moment you hear domestic violence and abuse, you automatically think it is between daddy and mommy. You think that you must be married to be termed, to be grouped under domestic violence and abuse. But no, domestic violence and abuse means violence and abuse that happens within your domestic area. So if you are living upstairs and the people downstairs are always fighting, it is called domestic abuse. If it is in your hall, in your hostel, two students are fighting because that is your immediate vicinity. it is referred to as domestic violence and abuse. So you don't really have to think domestic violence is between adults, it's between daddy and mommy. You could be domestically violent. But now the ones between daddy and mommy or lovers is called intimate partner violence. If you would, everybody has this on the chair. Please, can you open the first with me? Let me read it out to you. It is any abuse, any pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to maintain or to gain control over another, including behaviors to frighten and intimidate. I need you to understand that the essence of domestic violence is to gain power and control over somebody. Could you put your hands together for those that acted and just showed you? Can I ask, how many of you have seen that before? How many of you have seen that before? Parents arguing, parents fighting. It doesn't have to be your parents. I'm just saying, even if it is in a movie, have you seen it before? Father and mother, thank you very much. Someone just give me your answer. Bold enough, thank you.
Mother.
The mother, according to him, is. Does anyone have any other answer? Let me see that.
It's the child, or mostly.
Thank you very much. Could you please put our hands together for the baby? Children are the primary victims of domestic violence and abuse. It is the children that suffer more than the parents. Can you imagine that child coming to school after daddy just beat mommy or mommy just beat daddy? Do you think the child will understand anything you are teaching her? It is called trauma. When you wake up in the morning, it is argument, it is fight. That child cannot be productive. Now, I will briefly explain to you the different types of abuse. There's what we call emotional abuse. What did I say? Emotional abuse. Do you know what emotional means? Oh, please, you can do better. Do you know what emotional means? Emotional abuse is from words, things that hurt you inside. And how do you emotionally abuse someone? By words, by saying things, hurtful things to the person. It is called emotional abuse, which makes the person feel less than they are. Let me show you what emotional abuse is. Team, emotional abuse, please. Please keep your eyes on the stage.
Are you serious?
Yes, how about you?
But you're not that brilliant now. Hey, well, it's not 7.
Excuse me, Junior. Come here. Okay, how do you think you are in this college?
Hey,
So you have brought this piece that you can't recognize or greet
your seniors.
Each time you pass by again,
Can you imagine? Look at that. What the hell is this?
what the hell are you? Are you from the bush? Even those that came from the bush do not behave the way this magnanimous and insignificant.
Jesus.
Good for nothing. That carpet like
If not for the scholarship that they gave her to attend this school,
Thank you very much. That is emotional abuse. When you say things that hurt someone, when you abuse someone to make them feel less than who they are, parents or your mother is telling you you are stupid, you don't know anything. At times, even from the schools, when you have your senior or a teacher or somebody within your vicinity always telling you how useless you are. At times, someone just gives up and accepts, yes, I am ugly. Yes, I am useless. Because that is what you hear every day. That is called emotional abuse. Do you understand? So can you identify if someone is trying to emotionally abuse you? Can you identify? Can you identify? Thank you very much. Now, when you look at this, can you go through this with me? Who has seen emotional abuse here? Who has seen it here? Can you raise it up if you've seen it? You've seen emotional abuse. It tells you when someone calls you names and insults you or continuously criticizes you. When they isolate you from friends, you can't be our friend. You are too daft, you are not fine, you don't know anything. That is emotional abuse, humiliating you. Now the next we have is called psychological abuse. Hello? Hello? I can't hear anything from the middle row. Are we bored already? Hello? Psychological abuse. Psychological is from the word psycho. Who knows what a psycho means? When they say you're a psycho. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you are walking down the road and a psycho is coming, what would you do? Why? Why? Please, can the second mic, who's with the second mic? Who's with the second mic? Please let someone raise their hand and please give them to answer. Why would you run from a cycle? Why? Can someone raise up the hand? All right.
Because the person is mad or not mentally stable.
Because the person is mad or not mentally stable. So, why would you run even though he's mad or mentally unstable?
You would not want to get hurt by the person because the person is capable of doing things.
The person is capable. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together. Psychological abuse. From the word psycho, it means to create fear. It means to create fear because you don't know what they can do. It includes people trying to cause fear by intimidating you, trying to show you that they are stronger than you. Because they want you to believe they can cause physical harm. They could beat you up. They would destroy property to show you they just kick this chair, kick this table, just to make you afraid. It is called psychological abuse. Let us show you another clip of psychological abuse. When he was talking, I was not even there. Yeah, I was not there.
Answer him now. He's talking to you. He's talking to you and you want to drink. Respect him first. You want to talk? If I
Glory, hot highway.
Yes, ma'am.
What is good in this afternoon? Do you know that you are just a useless thing? You are making things difficult for me. They will teach you, you will not understand. Look at the test. You always have an anointing of failure. Everything you do is failure, failure, failure. All you know how to do is how to lead from behind. You are a disappointment. You are wasting your parents' money in this school. Why not just go back and start doing other things? Stop disturbing yourself. Go back home. Start telling maybe do that because you cannot do anything. You are just useless in life. You can be sorry for yourself. Get out of my class right away.
What was that? I want you to consider very carefully. What was the first drama? Somebody raise your hand. Someone raise your hand. Thank you very much from our guest. This front row is like everybody there is an A1 student.
That's emotional bullying.
Which, the first or the second?
The first is bullying, the second is emotional bullying. It's like related.
Just say what is on your mind. Don't worry about it. The first is what?
Bullying.
Bullying, which is also, what did I talk about?
Psychological bullying.
Psychological abuse. Okay.
The
Second.
second one is emotional bullying.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together. I told you that emotional abuse are words said to you to make you feel worthless, to make you feel you don't know. Abuse is how stupid you are, how you don't know anything. It is emotional that go into depression. These are what make people give up because you are being told every day how useless you are. The second was what? The second was emotional. The first was psychological. He was bullied. You know, they showed him strength, took his food. He couldn't say anything. Why? Because he was afraid they would beat me up. And that is the essence of psychological abuse, to make you scared. Now, there is another abuse called financial or economic abuse. Financial, which means money. Economy, which means money or money. Now, how do you abuse someone financially? You find using in a marriage. The husband tells the wife, from now on, you will resign from your office and then you will go home to take care of the children. Don't worry, I will make the money and I will give to you. Has anyone heard that before? It is called housewife. They tell you to become a housewife. Or the wife tells the husband, well, I'm from a rich family. Both of us will just have to go home. I will be giving you some money at the end of the month. It happens both ways. Ladies and gentlemen, it is called financial abuse. There are some people, we had a client who had been working for 7 years, but her salary is paid into her husband's account. So her husband is the one that now tells her maybe out of 70,000, maybe gives her 10,000 naira, and he will take the rest. It's called financial or economic abuse. When your own money, and now it doesn't have to happen between father and mother, your brother and your sister and your friends, when it comes to money, they take what is yours. You keep money with them and they say forget about the money. If they are giving money that you should share, they take your portion. It's called financial or economic abuse. Hello? Then there is the physical abuse, which everybody knows. Physical is where someone has started demonstrating it already. Where you punch, you kick, you slap, you beat. Either your friend, your sister, your brother, husband, wife beats husband. That is called physical abuse. The kicking, the biting, the grabbing, the slapping. So how many have I told you now? How many? How many? The fifth one is called sexual abuse. That is where people are molested. That is where people are raped. Do you know what molest means? No. Who knows what molestation means? Who knows what molestation means? Please, can we have the microphone? Molestation. Let someone raise their hand. Let me see. The microphone. You answered the last one, right? No, okay. From our guests in the middle.
Molestation simply means the act of when a person, probably older than you, forces you into sexual activities that you do not want to do.
Please, a round of applause. A round of applause. Louder, 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 louder. Thank you very much. The only thing about molestation that we got slightly inaccurate is that the person is older than you, might not be older than you. But what we see is that a lot of older persons, it could be your mate, it could be your classmate, it could be your junior. Molestation also involves touching you where you do not want to be touched, especially for women. When you are walking and a man or a woman touches you in sensitive areas, and also the men. You should understand that it's not only women that are molested, men are also molested. That is called sexual abuse. Rape. Do you know what rape means? Rape is that forceful. Now, usually the person is stronger than you. So for rape, usually it is an older person on a younger person, but also could be age mate or or even below, but usually because the person must be considerably stronger than you to overpower you. Rape is that forceful abuse sexually. Now, sexual abuse is forcing someone into a sexual act without the person's consent. The person doesn't want to, but you force them. It could be maybe with one person or a group of people just holding down somebody. Sexual abuse is a crime. Now, the final I will explain to you is called cultural abuse. Cultural abuse. Please, let's put our eyes on the stage. Let's fix our eyes on the stage and watch something.
Look, that thing I say make the image of Joanna. I did misbehave. Money day forget. Money plenty for grand. See my tell the money wey my papa from sister for me and my junior sister forget. I don't give her. Yeah, my friend. Where she come collect her?
I mean, I'm going back at it. Oh, wow. Every time somebody is spending money on TikTok. Come on. Nothing for TikTok, nothing for Wi-Fi. Even project I can't do no money. I just should have spent money on it. Brother Martins, now, good afternoon. Brother Martins, are you there?
Oh, you come. Sorry, Derek. I know you.
Because the money that is sent, I want to use it to do my project. And so many things I need to buy, I cannot afford because I don't have money. So many expenses, times are hard. What of my money? Every time I'll be asking money, where is my money, Brother Martin?
All the things you say since the only thing I heard is times are hard. Why are times hard? Wow.
I don't know. What kind of question is that?
You don't need money. What do you need money for? See, when I was like you, when I was the age, you don't use money. Ladies, you don't need money. See, okay, fine. I'm gonna wait. See, if you want me to give you money, my clothes for the past 2 weeks, you know I've been so busy. I've not had time to wash. So you help me wash all of them.
Mama, God will punish you. Me, I should wash clothes. When money that is my right, I'm supposed to use for my.
Can't collect.
What's up? Why are you like this now? Let's not be like this.
Forget. I don't deal here. I don't deal
Wait, talk to your guy.
I don't
See you like this before. Waiting happen now.
You know, say that my friend say my mama is sick.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember. What happened?
Nothing happened. The truth of the matter is that my dad has spent a lot of money. money, take that. The money a man for my wife, the money wey they don't say I will do my head. You don't use that pay hospital bills. So I don't pay my wife. That's why
Wow.
I pay.
Are you serious? So that's why you are just like this.
Yeah. Something come on my head now. I know.
I easy for you. And the time they start in 2 weeks' time.
I know that. In fact, because the payment will close to 1.
Well, I've been reasoning with all this myself, you know.
How do you want?
No, you don't want to now.
So what's more
No, you need to write out. No, you should just go join business, spare part business for your brother here and then that's it go now. No, just read it out.
Now forget that thing. If you talk, what you tell me? You tell me say I go learn market.
No, now.
You don't make a do my head. That forget it. I am highly disappointed in you. You go and learn market. And you want to write your head. Nah, get out. Nah, you are disappointed. Forget it. Forget it.
No be so. Hey, Papa, Swale. Ah, my G. Calm down for Jesus. Understand? Calm down. I dey you, my God. I dey feel you.
Yeah. This school, I don't tire. I can tell you, I don't tire for this. Don't tell these people. Well, I don't say that. I think that I don't do something like that.
Guy, calm down. See. Come here.
I say pick up.
Pick that thing. Come on.
Please let's put our hands together. We are very short on time. What did you just see now? What did you just see now? The one that the brother refused to give the money was what? Thank you very much. And then the one about the man that did not do his wife, that is called cultural abuse. That is when you use somebody's culture to abuse them. An Igbo man, because Igbo men are very industrious. You say, why does he want to do that? Let him go and be selling spare parts. You understand? Or you see people from Calabar, you say, why are you in school? You people now cook, now they do, why not go and learn how to be literal. You know, you use their culture. A Yoruba man from those things, you say, don't be dog on the job, why not they keep dog? You know, you use their culture to abuse them. It's called cultural abuse. It happens usually when like a Yoruba man marries a Hausa man or an Igbo man, when there is a combination of two different cultures. Or a group of friends, where you have different cultures. Now, there's something very important I want to tell you. Those are the kinds of abuses that we have. But ladies and gentlemen, do you know that there are laws that protect you from domestic violence and abuse? Please look at the last page. Do you know that as a woman, any man or person who assaults you according to section 360 of the Nigerian Criminal Code Act means the person is liable to imprisonment for 2 years? Anyone that assaults a woman or a girl. Can I have a lady? Can I have a lady come up, please? Okay, let me have, come on. This is a lady. You know what assault means? Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what assault means? Now, I don't have to beat her. doesn't. Just because I pushed her can send me to 2 years in prison. Did you know that? Please put your hands together. It is written in your book. And for men, any person who unlawfully assaults any male person for the man, you are guilty of imprisonment for 3 years. So if you assault a man, he can send you to jail for 3 years. If you assault a woman, he can send you to jail for 2 years. So that should encourage women that you know you are protected by law. Any person, according to section 355, who unlawfully assaults another and causes harm is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 3 years. For an abuse, you are liable to imprisonment for 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, there are sections of the law that protects every child, that protects every man, that protects every woman. The problem is you do not know that you are protected. That is why I need you to take this book and read it so you know your rights. As a woman, nobody can just push you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know the offense called stalking? Who knows what it means to stalk? You know stalking? You know it means somebody just following you around? You know when you notice somebody has been following you, do you know it is an offense? The offense for stalking is in section 17, subsection 1 of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. And it carries the prison sentence of 2 years. So as a man, as a woman, when you see somebody following you up and down, if you have a smartphone, just record it. You can send the person to prison if you can prove your case. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand that the law provides protection for husband, for wife, for child. Please read this so that you know your rights. And at the back, we have put the various government parastatals that you can report to. If it happens in school, you have your principal, you have your teachers, you can report. If it happens outside school, we have put different parastatals and even phone numbers that you can reach out to in cases of assault, domestic violence and abuse, rape. Everything is there. So not to take your time, we have just come this morning to let you know the different kinds of abuse. When you see it, you will tell the person that is emotional abuse. And if it happens to you, you know that you are protected under the law. Against emotional abuse, it is there. Against psychological abuse, it is there. Everything is written at the back there. So please get familiar with it and know your rights. Thank you very much.
You can do better than that. A round of applause for our guest speaker for that amazing presentation. All right, I believe that you've learned so much today from the speech and from the drama you've seen. So I know you're going on with something today, our private schools and also our dear students. All right, we're moving straight into the next program of event. Okay, I invited schools, please, you have to go and pick the side you'll be debating on. We're moving into the debate of today's program. This is one of the main programs of today's event. Please, I invited schools, just go back there. Pick the invited school, the teachers representing the schools. Go back there, pick the topics you're debating on. While the stage is being set, I want to call up.
Yeah, I want to work with you.
Thank you, Mr. Gallo. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Gallo. Thank you very much. And please, we want the invited schools, the teachers representing those schools to go behind. We're going to toss. You pick, perhaps you pick, just have 3 or 4 minutes to meet with your students. You have to present 2 speakers, the chief speaker and the supporting speaker. So please go there and get that done now. While that is going on, we invite the just 2 girls for their slides or lighting talent, so to say. Please put your hands together for the